Okay, good evening, guys. Next, let me introduce the big data exam questions. The big data part is relatively simple, so the score weight is smaller, but it is also the easiest track to score points in. The components and commands involved are all basic commands, so don't worry. And for the last year's exam questions, were also set against the background of social network platforms focusing on statistical analysis of chat data to explore user chat characteristics. For example, you need to analyze the total message volume by date, hourly message volume, the number of users sending and receiving messages, and the distribution of phone models used by senders. I see January asked about, can we get these lab exercises? Uh, we need to check and Wang Kexing, please follow the Flannery's question to see if we can set these materials to our customers. And let's continue with the big data uh, exams network topology. So as this track is relatively simple, and we just gonna use three big data components: the HDFS, Hive, and Hue. We know that HDFS is a distributed storage system designed to handle large volumes of data across many machines, and it is also the core component of big data, providing reliable and fault-tolerant storage. So the first step you need to do is to download the chat data and then put it into the HDFS. And after that, you need to prepare the environment in the Hive. We can see here there are three layers in the Hive, namely ODS, DWS, and ADS. Hive, we know that it is a data warehouse and use the circle-like query language. It allows us to query large data sets stored in HDFS and using a familiar SQL syntax. And while you load the data in HDFS, and then you need to create the database and create the table structures inside Hive. Then you can load the data from the HDFS to the ODS. Usually in the ODS layer, the data is always the raw data, which means the data may maybe have repeated data, unclagged data, maybe other uncleansing data. So while you doing some filtering, easy aggregating, the data will be stored to the next layer, the DWS. And in this layer, the data already have some higher quality, and it can be used to do more complex aggregating and other operations in the ADS. And after you do some filter, just do some aggregation operations, then you need to use the Hue, which is a data visualization tool to help you to paint some pictures to better understand the results. So it's the big data tracks network topology. To sum up, the primary task is to unload the chat data to HDFS, then import it into Hive for layering and aggregation. And after performing these operations, you will need to generate different tables and rename them. And finally, Hue will be used for visualizing the data analysis results. Okay, then let's see the data format. So you will get the example data, which named chat data, download it from the platform, and then you can open it to see these samples of these chat data, and it shows more details about the message information, like the message send time, sender name, sender account, and so on. Also, we will give you the details about all these parameters and their descriptions. So you will know each column name and the description of this column. Okay, so it's just the preparation of this big data track. And before starting the exam, you need to check the lab environment, and all these 3 tracks will be done on the Huawei Cloud. And in the big data track, you need to buy the cloud resource MRS, and you need to pay attention to the MRS version and more details while I show you the exam task, you will see. And also, the other resource you need to buy is the EIP. So it's gonna be easier than the cloud service track. You only need to buy these 2 resources, the MRS and EIP. As Emma already introduced and give you the link for downloading this mobile Xterm tool. So while inside the lab, you don't need to download and prepare it again. You can just use it. And the exercise data, as we already showed you. Then let's continue to see the exam task. So the first task is to purchase the MRS. While setting up the environment, you need attention details about this resource, like you need to check if your region is in Hong Kong, and check the cluster version if this is the 3.1.0, and the cluster type, you need to choose the custom, and then select these several components that will be used in our exam. So this part is for the software configuration. In the lab, while you are prepared for the software configuration, you need to take a screenshot for this part, and then it will ask you to go to the next step, and you need to set the hardware configuration. The same, you need to set the billing mode to pay-per-use and check the bandwidth 5 and bits. And after setting the hardware configurations, still you need to take the screenshot. And the next setting is the advanced setting. It is important that you need to disable this Kerberos authentication. Otherwise, you cannot connect to the MRF cluster successfully. So it is very important. Do not forget to disable the Kerberos authentication. And after this setting, still, you need to take the screenshots. So here in the task 1, you will need to take 3 screenshots, 1 for the software configuration, 1 for the hardware configuration, and 1 for the advanced setting. And the task 2, after you've already bought the MRS, then you can upload the data. So the procedure is ask you to upload the data to the user chat directory in the HDFS cluster. So in this step, you may need to use the make directory command in the HDFS to create a directory named chat under the user directory. And then you may need to use the put command to help you to put the chat data, this data to the HDFS user chat directory. And after the upload is complete, then you need to use the command to help you to view the first 5 rows of data. And in this task 2, you need to take 2 screenshots, 1 for the directory of the HDFS and 1 for the first 5 rows of the data. So it is about the task 2. The task 3 will be completed using Hive. As we mentioned in the network topology, in the Hive, there will be 3 layers. So each layer you need to create different database. So for the ODS layer, you need to create a database named ODS MSG. For the second DWS layer, you need to create the database named DWS MSG. And for the third layer, named ADS MSG. And also, you need to create the chat information table, the MSG sort. And this table structure, you need to rely on the sample of the chat data as we showed you before. So you need to rely on this table, set the parameter name as the column name, and set the relatively correct type of each column. So that's about the task 3. You need to take the screenshots for each database, one for ODS, one for DWS, and one for ADS, and also one screenshot for the table, the MSG source. The task 4 is about data ETL cleansing. So in this part, you need to perform the data ETL cleansing and pay attention to the date type. So you need to set this type as this format, put the year and month and then the date. And after your ETL operations were done, you need to save the ETL result to the new Hive table named MSG ETL at the GWS layer. So you need to check if the location of this table are under the DWS database, and then you will need to take the screenshot for this task. And for the task 5, it contains some aggregation, and you need to calculating the data. So here you need to do as the task ask to calculate the total number of messages, and you need to type in some complex SQL commands and calculate the total number of messages, the number of sent messages, and so on. For each part, you don't forget to take the screenshot, okay, after you already filter, aggregate the data. Then you can use a Hue for the data visualization. And this service we're also using on the MRS Manager. And you need to go back to the Huawei Cloud website and open the MRS console and find the Hue, and then just do as the procedure asks to select the Hive inquiry editor on the upper part of the main page, and you will need to paint 4 charts: the hour bar chart, the user's pie chart, and the top 10 users bar chart, and sender phone's pie chart. After you already pinned these charts, don't forget to take the screenshots for them. So that's all about the big data track. And let me check the questions for the cloud resource component. I think we need to check it later. And if you guys want to practice the lab, I think you can use your individual accounts to practice. For example, you can open the Huawei Cloud website and then just buy the MRS cluster yourself, and you can just buy the cluster version as these cloud resources should, and select these components. And for the Lulane asked about the times for purchasing the MRS cluster. It may take about 25 to 30 minutes to waiting for buying the MRS cluster. And don't worry, the time for this part is enough. So that's all about the big data track. Then I will invite the Corey for the AI check.
First question is this gonna be the same with the actual exam, Of course not. This is a paper of last year, and this year there will be a little difference. So you should check out with this year's exam description, and this just for your inference. And because of that we cannot associate with any payment methods, we will check out that later, and you can see the FAQ after we uploaded it. And then Bright said, don't know if participants from other countries have the same issue. Okay, we will check out it later. For cloud, the cloud part and our teacher Mary will check out with it later about your questions. Okay, last part, let's begin with our AI part. As you all know, AI is just very popular around the world, like with the expand of DeepSeek. Oh, okay, and the smartphones are one of the most important products, and here are two data about the AI part, and first data is about open source data set about phone prices. As you can see, there are many features here on the table, and then you will receive a file here for your AI part, and you can unzip it, and this contains about your train data sets and test data sets, and two IPY notebook. You can upload it to the HuaweiCloud.com, and then you got this CSV. This stands for the phone prices here. That's the first part of our data, the cleaned all phones.csv. And then you got CKPT here. That's the weight for our models later. And so that's all about the data here. And we have two parts of the data. The first one is about the phone prices. And the second one is about 5 types of garbage. So we should do a garbage classification. So as you can see, there are two main tasks here. The first is about how to do the regression. And the second one is about how to do the classification. And let's take a look about the pictures here. There are five classes of garbage here, and each of which contains 100 images, including the waste batteries, cardboard boxes, cigarette butts, eggshells, and fruit peel. And here you can see in your data sets, there you can click the train data sets. There are 5 classes, and each one got 100 pictures here. So that's your data set. Okay, after we get to know about the data sets, let's begin with our lab environment. As you can see, we should log in our Huawei Cloud. Let me show it to you. And the most important part is you should choose the right image here. That's very super important. Remember, you should choose the right image here. And the specification here is you should choose GPU part here. So let me show you how to use our Huawei Cloud. Sorry, the session expired, so I should log in that again. Oh, okay, here, wait a minute. And you can log in your own Huawei account here. Please wait a second here. Okay, and then you can see there is a search bar here. There's a search bar here. That's the home page of the Huawei Cloud after you sign in, and you will see a page like here. And then you should search, type in the search box about Model Us, and that's for our AI parts. That's for our AI parts. I will send it to our chat box. Okay, Model Us, you can type it here in the search box, and then there is a console here, and you just type directly about the Model S or choose the console here. And Model S is a one-stop AI platform that empowers developers and data scientists to build and deploy models here. And let's choose the console. So when you see this page, and you are get to the right place. And first of all, you should find where we begin with our notebook, and we will create our notebook here. And remember to choose the right region here. That's super important. That's super important. You should follow the instructions of your paper, and it will tell you should choose either Hong Kong or Singapore here. Please pay attention to that. Is this working? What you refers to? It's okay. It's okay. I just take it for example. It's okay. And you can switch to the Singapore region and follow the instruction. And if you see this instruction here, for example, the data storage, blah, 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 and you should authorize access. You should click the authorize access here. Just click it. And then you click add agency here, and then just click create here, And you can create your notebook after that. So after you authorize the access here, you can create notebook now. Yeah, if you see any warning signs here, just access it. Okay, follow instructions. You could try it before your exams actually started. Okay, and then we could create our notebook now. Please remember it's here in the development workspace here, and notebook, create notebook. Please remember to choose the correct public image here, and you could just end it and choose the one. You should pay attention to that. I can just stick it here for you. And then we just compare it with our actual public image. And here, mine's for 1.7 CUDA 10.1. Oh, that's the right image here. So you can choose this one. And please remember to choose the GPU type here. Just the right one with the specifications here. That's super important. Please don't forget to do that. Okay, after you choose the right GPU here, you should add the disk size of the EVS up to 50 GB. So if the price is right with as it's shown in the instructions, that's okay. You can continue to click next and click submit here. And before that, you should triple check that. Okay, that's how you create your notebook. So after you create your notebook, you can try that before you start your exam, of course, just to make sure your authorization is working. Okay, and after that, the tasks you can see the task submitted successful. And then you open the you open the notebook here, and then you can click the upload button here, to upload the whole data set here, the whole data set. So the whole data set is here, this whole one, and then you upload the zip here, and then you can click the add button, and then add a terminal here. And after you add a terminal here, you just type in unzip blah 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 .zip, and then refresh it, you will find your zip is unzipped. Okay, after that, you can just go into the files, and you can see there are two IPY notebook here, and here is two major tasks you should do here, do in our AI part. There are two major tasks. Okay, let's take a look about your questions here. During the real exam, third part, documentation, as Emma told you, you can only read the Huawei Cloud documents. No third part documentation. Sorry for that. Yeah. That's not allowed to get access to the link outside of the document. Oh, I'm sorry about the network issue, so I can't see your formal questions. You can type the questions here and I will answer that later. So where were we? We just take a brief look about the three easiest subtasks here. Okay, let's continue our part. You can leave your message in the chat box. Okay, the second part is how to processing the structured data here. So the first part is about feature filtering, and the second part about normalize and encode the data features and label. Here are just the example. Please remember both to take a screenshot of both the results and your code. Okay, let's continue. And then the third part about the regression part is the training models on structured data here. So let's take a quick look about the training models here. And first of all, you should choose your model algorithms here. And then you should train the models and calculate their accuracy. And last part is to evaluate your models here. And please remember how to tune your model up. Please remember to tune your model and then to make sure the MSE of the tuned model have gained at least just 5% to improvement in MSE or accuracy. So that's what you're supposed to do in the exam here. So you can choose either way to do that and then to make sure there are 5% improvement here. Okay. You have not been able to enable your Huawei Cloud accounts now. So, it asks you to associate with your Chinese phone number before. You should register you can register your Huawei account, use your Outlook. You can use your Gmail or Outlook. It's not necessarily associated with your Chinese phone number here. Alvin, can you hear that? It's okay, Joseph. It's just if you can begin with your notebook, how to open your notebook, how to create your notebook, and then you can then just upload your data set and then unzip the dataset, unzip your dataset either in notebook or terminal. That's both okay. And then after you unzip the dataset, you can just open your IPY notebook. And then there are two major parts in the IPY notebook. The first one is about the regression part. We just finished about our first part. And then we can just continue with our second part, our image classification part. Okay, let's continue about our image classification task. As you can see, our pictures are just 5 classes of 100 image classification pictures here. So let's take a look about the MobileNet garbage classification question IPY notebook. You can just open it in Modas in Model S as I shown you before. So that's the second part here, and the data is here, and the CKPT stands for the model. You can gain your weight here. So that's all our preparation. So let's begin. First of all, we should prepare the code and the data. We can, after the procedure, we should take a screenshot of the code, including the number tag, and then save the screenshot as 4-1-1 data. Okay, let's take a look about that. So you can take a look about how to begin with your data. It's just I can show you how to begin with it. For example, you can first of all import Mindful, and then you should just fill in the blanks about the task 4 subtask 1. And then how to do that? You could you should refer your validation data path, and then just follow the instructions of the green word. And then you should visualize the training set, and that's just all about the data preparation. So you should take a screenshot of all your codes here and your examples here. For example, you should take a screenshot like that. You should take a screenshot about your corresponding code and your final result, just like that. You should take a picture of both of it, just your code above and your results after that. Okay, after that, we have done with the visualization part. Then we can begin with our training part. And as you can see, the model train is the core task of our artificial intelligence. So we can choose our model and then start training. And then you could take a screenshot of how you train it, and to take a screenshot of the corresponding code and your result. And the final task is to optimize your model parameters, just as we do in our daily tasks, right? And we could load the best model parameters obtained through the dictionary paramdict, and load the parameter dictionary to the model net. And then after you do that, you can save your code to just save the picture. And then you can do some predict and post-process images. And finally, do the model inference. So that's all about the image classification part. Just because we have limited time here, so we just go briefly about the. For AI, no need to take the full screenshot. Yeah, right, Miss G. You can take a screenshot of the corresponding code using the its most important and the example result here. Okay, any questions? Yeah, of course. You will have a document with instructions just like this. You can see that in your iLearning learning part. Let me show you. Be patient. So just click the written exam lab exam here, and then you will got the paper here. Just click it, and you will got a paper like this. There are backgrounds, exam description, and exam questions here.
Okay, I will answer Mr. Ambu's question. How many teams are there in APAC region? How many teams will get in the global? For APAC, each track there will be 4 teams going to the global final, including the practice team like network, cloud track, computing track, each track with 4 teams quota, and also innovation track 4. So the total team quota for APAC is 16. So if you have any questions, you can consult your local talent ecosystem manager of Huawei. Okay, am I myself clear? For cloud resources, I saw some questions regarding the cloud resources. Huawei will provide cloud resources coupon for the teams who are going to take the exams. And for any details, also please consult your local talent ecosystem manager first, because they will have contact with us. If you have any questions, consult them first, then they will give the information and we will feedback to them. So they will also contact you. For the professional questions, I will ask the instructors to give you the answer. Just give me a second.
Okay, so I see there's one question from Andrew. For cloud, is the network architecture going to be the same or similar? This is going to be a question about this is going to be it's not permitted for us to spoil such kind of details of the questions to you. Sorry. So, but in any cloud questions, there would always be something like VPC or subnet, but I can't promise you that the networking architecture is the same. Okay, you need to check. Am I clear about your question?
During the can use external web camera if laptop camera may fail due to the exam restrictions. I think you can only use the internal laptop. But if your camera fail, then you can ask the people who are in charge of this. They will support you. Okay, guys, I have collected all of your questions in the chat box. Since the time and also maybe the instructors, they are not familiar with the rule of competition. So I will sort out all of your questions as FAQs and we will post it into Huawei ICT Academy official Facebook. Maybe next week. Next week we will post it in our Facebook so you can check. I think that's all for today. Thank you, guys. Thank you all the instructors. 好，老师们，我们今天就结束了，感谢。Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much.